Welcome back, Operation Bushcraft friends and family. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm very big on, and that is safety. Especially knife safety, blade safety. It doesn't even have to be a knife. Anything that you are going to use, whether it's a saw, chainsaw, knife, I don't care if you're using what I call a P51, which is a P51, P38, P36. These are can openers. They have a very sharp blade on them. Whether you're using a fixed blade knife like the more Garberg, I think, or if you're using a smaller folding knife, such as a Swiss Army knife, where you're going to open the blade and it's locked. When you unlock it, you've got to watch all your fingers. Here at Operation Bushcraft, I tell everybody safety third. Everybody should know, they've heard it 100 times, safety first. If safety's first and safety's third, you're thinking about safety all the time. So, safety third at Operation Bushcraft. Safety third, safety first, safety all the time. I'm trying to think. I do apologize. But blade safety. Not just knife safety, but blade safety. When you get down to this, and I'm going to demonstrate these techniques here in a minute, you have what is called your blood bubble. So anything, once I unsheath this knife, anything like this flag, you see how I could, listen, that's in my blood bubble. If I switch hands and I come back around, that's in my blood bubble. Anything in my circle around me that this knife can reach is my blood bubble. So if you have small children, if you have grown adults, anybody, if you have pets, and you are using a blade, if you are sawing a log, if you are cutting a stick, if you are carving a tri-stick, beware of your blood bubble. Safety third. Also, you have what is known as your pyramid of death, which is from your navel down to your knees, where your femoral arteries are. You never want to take this knife. You see the blade is away from me. I'm going to put it in the sheath. Because why? Safety third. You never want to cut a stick towards your person. That can be bad. Or if you hit a knot and you run up your arm, you're looking to have a very bad day. Because if this were open, again, there's the blade. In a sheath, just for demonstration purposes, nobody's going to use a knife and cut their sleeves off or anything like that. You never want to cut towards your person. If you hit a knot and you come up, you could have a very bad day. Always, always, always away from your person and off to the side of your person. Because if I'm sitting here whittling this stick and I hit that femoral artery, I'm going to bleed to death in a matter of minutes. Like I said, I'm going to demonstrate this here in a minute. When you are in a survival situation out in the woods, you are going to want to have yourself an anvil. Your anvil is for when you are carving something. And you'll notice, I'm going to use this anvil, I'm going to carve down this stick, and when I come off, if I'm down there, it's not going into the dirt, it's not dulling my blade, I'm not carving on my leg. When I come down and I hit that anvil, I am protecting not only myself, to an extent, I'm preserving my blade because dirt will dull it so fast, you don't want to go into the dirt. And when you carve down on that stick, as it hits that wood, I'm not messing up the table. I don't have to hear my wife holler at me, or your mother. If you're a younger person living at home and you carve down and you cut a big notch out of your mother's table that was passed down 3 generations, You're never going to hear the end of it. So again, what's the rule? Safety third. Safety third, safety first, safety all the time. Remember, now that I have a sheath on here, oh, I just wasn't watching my blood bubble. I just stabbed somebody. Now I've got a lot of problems I don't want. Beware of your blood bubble. Beware of your pyramid of death. I'm going to move out here. I'm not going to carve a whole bunch of notches and whatnot today. We can go into notches later on. But my favorite is the pot hanger. And I'm going to show you how I cut this. Because when I'm doing something, I was carving down on this stick, which is my baton. Which, if I were to go to splits, I'm going to set my baton down. I'm going to show you how this anvil works. I'm going to take, lay it away from me, being aware of my pyramid of death, watching my blood bubble, and I'm just going to split this stick because this will come in handy later. But if I want to baton this down, you see, I hit that anvil. Didn't go into the table, didn't go into my person, outside of my blood bubble. And if you're really, really doing this the right way, you're going to get it set up away from your person, outside your pyramid of death, and you can just baton this down into that anvil, protecting your knife, not going into the dirt, not marring the table, not catching anybody around you. You have complete and total control of the knife. Your baton is just a stick. It can be bigger than this. This was just something I'm not splitting a big log. I could use a bigger stick. If I had a much bigger stick, there it is, safety third. I'm going to set that away so I know where it's at. It's not in my hand. I'm not doing anything crazy. You could have a bigger head on this where you took a bigger branch. You make certain cuts. You shave this down. You've got a big mallet type of scenario. I'm going to show you a few carving techniques that I use to get that. But I'm going to show you some more about the blood bubble, pyramid of death, more close up. I'm going to move out here. So give me just 1 second. Just real quick. Like I said, my favorite was the pot hanger. So where I've got this log, I'm going to move it at about a 45-degree angle from my navel for me. Okay? When I cut this pot hanger notch, I had to use my baton and cut this at an X, and then cut this at an X. Okay? I want to be outside of my knees, watching that whole pyramid of death. So once I cut that, I carve down in here, coming up underneath here, and then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to go off to the side of my person, and I'm going to dig this out, because then I'm outside of my pyramid of death, watching my blood bubble. There is nothing around me. And I can come up here real careful. I'd turn the knife away from me. And if I were down here carving, I've got another anvil. So I come up under here, carve this out, away from my person. If you're a different type, you can always turn it, and you can carve your beam is this notch. And you can carve this way. Again, outside of your pyramid of death, being aware of your blood bubble. You can lean forward. You can brace it under your arm. You can brace it on another anvil. If you're up here, again, knife safety. Keep the knife facing away from your person. I've got a special guest with me today. Watch me do this. Watch me go over this. I'm going to ask David Days Hartzell to come up here and give me a hand real quick. David, you mind?
What do you need, John?
I am going to have you help me demonstrate how to hand somebody a knife.
Okay.
So I'm done with this knife. I can put it in the sheath. But if the knife is open and he needs to borrow my knife, or I'm done with it, I'm going to turn that knife, the spine, back towards myself. He's going to take the handle, he's going to lift it up away from my hands. Now it's clear. Now if you go to hand it back to me, no, you're going to turn it around. Tilt the handle back towards yourself. I'm going to pull the spine away from him. That way nobody's hurt. Then I'm going to turn the knife, and once we're done with the knife, I can put it away. Simple as that. But again, when you're handing somebody a knife, always keep control of the knife so that it can't be pushed back into you. Because if I'm done with this knife and I'm handing it to David, do me a favor, push that towards me, push it, push it, push it. Not going to happen. And when he does take the knife from me, turn it back around so you can hand it back to me. If he's got a hold of it and I push on it, resist it, he's got control of that knife. I can't push it into him, take the spine away from him. Safety third, safety first, safety all the time. So we've gone over the pyramid of death, your blood bubble, safety, being aware of your surroundings, carving off to the side of your person, always staying away from doing any harm to yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, send me an email at www.operationbushcraftin.com, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Until next time, struggle to make pudding.